Hello everybody, I hope everybody's doing well. My name is Jason Goldberg, and for my Esports Final, I'm going to play Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is a 5v5 online-based tactical shooter, with many different game modes and objectives regarding counter-terrorism situations. These game modes include objectives such as planning or defusing a bomb, securing and escorting a hostage, or securing an area. The modes are split into two teams, the attackers and the defenders. Defenders must repel the oncoming attackers by setting up defenses, setting up traps, keeping the attackers from completing their objective. The attackers must infiltrate the compound or the building and complete certain objectives, whether it be through planting the bomb, securing the hostage, or securing the area. The defending side can win if all enemies are eliminated, if the time limit runs out before the attackers complete their objective, or if they defuse a bomb. The attackers can win if all enemies are eliminated, if a bomb is planted and detonated, if an area is secured, or if a hostage is extracted. Each defender and attacking team has characters called operators. These operators all have their own unique gadgets to give certain advantages to your team and certain disadvantages to the enemy team. For example, one of these unique gadgets, held by the operator Blackbeard, is a bulletproof shield that can be mounted on his weapon. These unique gadgets require different strategies and tactics to outsmart and defeat the opposing team. I'll go more into other operators and their unique gadgets more as the video goes on. One cool thing about the operators in this game is that they represent different counterterrorism response units from all across the world. And in this game we see counterterrorism response units such as JW GROM, the US Secret Service, the FBI, GSG-9, the GIGN, and many more. So this game does really well in terms of including diversity. Now, for this game mode, I'm playing on a map called Border, I believe, and it is a bomb game mode. So right now I'm on the attacking side, and I have to infiltrate the compound, and you see my teammates. There are a multitude of ways to infiltrate the compound. I can go from above, I can go from the first floor, the second floor, and you see I just shot that camera. So the defenders have access to cameras, which allow them to look throughout the buildings to kind of see the movements of the attacking team. And basically, you just saw me throw that drone. That's the counterpart to the defender cameras. We have the attacking team has access to drones, which can roam around and kind of scope out the area, see what the defenders are up to, what kind of defenses they have set up, where they're positioned and stuff like that. And one thing I like to mention really quickly is that I apologize if you can hear my teammates. Rest assured, they were not saying anything offensive. They were speaking French, I believe, for the most part. And normally I do not mute my teammates for communication purposes, but here I just forgot to for the sake of the video. But unfortunately, I made a foolish decision, and there's a person around the corner from where I entered. I didn't check that far enough, so now I am dead waiting respawn. I'm basically spectating my teammates. And this is the operator I was just talking about with the bulletproof shield on his weapon. Blackbeard, you can see kind of a glass screen over his weapon, which protects his face and head, because the damage system in this game is pretty realistic. Bullets feel like bullets, you know, one shot to the head, you're done. And here I'm choosing my operator, and I go with Iana, and I've been playing with Iana for a decent while now. I really like her gadget, and I think in this clip you'll definitely see how I utilize her gadget to use certain strategies and tactics and try and overcome the defenders. And Iana's gadget is basically like a hologram version of her that I use to kind of go in dangerous situations when I'm trying to enter another room that I don't know if there's another person around the corner, I'll activate the hologram version of me and basically run inside and kind of scope out the area. Basically she's really good for gathering intel on the other team. Alright, so now you see me droning, kind of looking around, looking for the objectives, basically. The location of the objectives are not given to you in the beginning of the round, so basically what you have to do is you have to use the drones to kind of search around, kind of see that, try and figure out where the objective is first off, and also figure out what the defenses are, how they have the room set up, where everybody's positioned. And I will mention what the one downside about this game is players can be a little bit toxic. I'm sure every game deals with their own toxic kind of players. The one way that this game can be toxic is that there is reverse killing, there's reverse damage. Basically, if you, as you saw, one of my teammates just killed his own teammate, and then he died as reverse damage. So basically, if you shoot your teammate a certain amount of times, you do a certain amount of damage, that damage reverse on you. And here, I make a foolish decision, I kind of get ambushed, but here, I'll be honest, I don't really know how that person knew I was there, looking at the kill cam, but that's alright. I'm watching my teammates, and he's very low on health, but he seems to be playing it cautious right now, and I'm going to do my best to explain the types of strategies that were used in this gameplay. Okay, now it's a 2v1 basically. I was checking my stats real quick, and right now they are supposed to plant the bomb, but the situation is kind of tense right now. As you saw, there's an enemy close by. It's not safe, so they're basically trying to kill each other. It's a 1v1 at this point. It's whoever lands the most shots on each other at this point. And he somehow gets behind him. And here we go, he's planting the bomb here. Because I think he knows that the other person is playing conservative. Unfortunately, he loses the 1v1 battle. You saw the bulletproof shield shatter. And basically, this round was a loss. The other team defuses the bomb. And on to the next round. But right now we are up 2-0, and this match, I don't exactly know how many games, like what's it, best out of 7 maybe, but yeah, so we can see here that they're defusing the bomb. That's how the defending team won. Okay, so this time we switch sides, and now we are the defenders. Yeah, so every couple of rounds we switch sides from being the attackers to the defenders to, to make things fair. And for this, there are many different operators. I wish I could explain what each gadget does, but I don't think I'd be able to do that exactly right now without the video being super long. But basically, I'm trying to think of what type of operator would be best in this situation based on how the map is laid out, how the other team has been playing, and I wasn't exactly sure since who the best operator to choose was, because it's the first time being on the defending side, and I didn't exactly know what operators the attackers would be using, so I didn't know if they were, because certain attacking operators, they have abilities to breach reinforced walls, and I'll get back to that in a second. Let me explain right now what's going on. So here, this is the preparation phase for the defenders, and basically everybody is kind of using their unique gadgets to set up defenses. As you saw, that thing on the wall, that's a ADS system which shoots down any grenades or projectiles that are thrown in. And you saw me just grab a armor vest. That's another unique gadget from one of the operators. And now you see me reinforcing the walls, because I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but walls and floors and ceilings and basically any surface pretty much are able to be destroyed, shot through, anything like that. So like blown up, blown through. So basically reinforcing these walls provides an extra layer of security for the defenders. But with that being said, the attackers, they have certain operators have certain gadgets that allow them to bypass those reinforced walls. They can blow through them. That's what I mean when certain operators give themselves certain advantages and disadvantages to the other team. So basically here my teammates are kind of getting to a firefight. I don't really know where the attackers are coming from, so instead of checking it out, I wanted to play conservatively because I know that they have a good position on us basically, and if I were to go over and investigate, I'd most likely be shot. So I'm trying to play conservatively, and unfortunately, again, I get killed here. Off to a rough start for me, to be honest, but there you see, now it's just up to my last teammate, and unfortunately we lose this round. So it's a bit of a rough start for us to this match right now. You can see that our strategies are not really working out. The other team is outsmarting us. We now, in this round, we need to do something different. And basically, I think I was checking something, and I chose where I wanted the location of the objectives to be. And this time I went with more. This operator is more of a firepower operator. He lays down a lot of suppressing fire. He has a incendiary grenade launcher, which is kind of like an area denial device. And basically, I felt as though that usually for the defenders, they're equipped with SMGs and close range weapons because they're defending and they're going to be engaging their enemies very close up. But and defender, or the attackers, excuse me, are usually equipped with LMGs, sniper rifles, assault rifles, anything long distance, kind of more so to say, because they have to be engaging us from a longer distance away because they're infiltrating the compound. And I chose this operator because he's one of the defenders with a light machine gun, so he has heavy firepower, can lay down sustained fire without much recoil. That's truly a force to be reckoned with. You can see trying to set up the defenses real quick before the round starts, before the attackers start coming. Not the best of defenses. Sometimes the areas or the locations can't be fortified that well as other locations, so sometimes you'll see that certain areas aren't as fortified as others. Okay, right now I just want to kind of take a safe position, and I want to basically, you know, kind of hunker down and wait for them to come to me, because once I lay my eyes on them, the gun that I have right now is very powerful. It has little recoil, so I'm just basically waiting for them to come to me to get a clean shot. And I see somebody, you just saw somebody destroy one of those reinforced walls right there. So that was a problem, because now that reinforced wall is exposed and they can shoot through that reinforced wall, and basically vice versa, I can shoot through it too. But basically, you can see I'm getting flashbanged a lot, and I'm laying down to kind of protect myself. And right here, the person foolishly tries to jump over the railing while he must have thought I was still flashbanged, and fortunately for me, I regained my sight before he could shoot me. Okay, so now back to the defending side. And to be honest, I'm not really the most knowledgeable of every single map or what's the best area to choose for the objectives. I just kind of go with the flow and what everyone else wants to vote for. And here I'm just checking out my gun, checking my attachments. And since I won last round with Tachanka, I wanted to go ahead and use him again for this round. Let's see if I could recreate another one. Alright, so for this preparation phase, I'm going to try and explain my strategy a little bit better here. So I know that those walls are, well, first I wanted to grab an armor plate, because armor plates give you extra health. But as you saw, my teammate was just fortifying those two walls, and I noticed these walls, and I feel as if they could be a danger to be blown out by the other team. And if I want to kind of hunker down and find a safe spot to wait for the attackers to engage me, I want to make sure that these walls are covered up so that, you know, there isn't a breaching charge put on it, and then when it's detonated, I'm sitting there like a sitting duck, basically. So these reinforced walls give a little bit of a extra safety layer, a little bit more comfort. But like I said, as seen earlier a couple minutes ago, that these reinforced metal barriers can be destroyed through as well, if the attackers have the correct operators with the correct gadgets. Now, mainly the things that I really want to stress in this game are like our strategy, kind of teamwork. Teamwork might be a little more difficult to explain in this video because I'm not really communicating with the other teammates. I also do not really know them. But the other things that I want to emphasize are, like I said, strategy with the other operators, the different tactics that can be used, and basically the different dimensions to this game. As you can see here, I'm a little bit nervous because a lot of my teammates went down. It's basically a 2-1-4, it seems like. Don't really know where they're coming from, and fortunately the second I look away, they all infiltrate where I was standing, or sitting. So, lost that round, unfortunately. You can see it was a pretty quick round. The other team barely took any damage, if any at all. I mean, now back to the attacking side. We are into the overtime, so 3-3, and I'm just gonna choose what area I'd like to spawn into, kind of thinking which spot would be the best to start at for my infiltration. And I think I go with the flow. I go where everybody else goes. And now, like earlier, I chose Ayana, and hopefully this attacking round things will change and I'm able to kind of catch the defenders off guard. Okay, so apologies for the long loading time too. So preparation phase, I'm on a drone, and yep, I start looking around, slip through this little tiny hole, kind of just scoping out the place, just looking around for wherever, trying to find the objectives, basically trying to locate them, trying to see the types of defenses they have set up. And looks like nobody really is having success finding anything or finding anyone. So at this point, it just leaves us to have to find it ourselves. we can keep droning, but at this point it might just be easier to physically try and find the location. Now you see I'm entering through the second floor. I rappelled up and I throw a drone, and I notice that there's a camera in the corner, and I also notice that that is not where the cameras usually are. That's a operator camera. It's one of their unique gadgets, and here I engage one of them. I had a feeling that since there was somebody on that camera, they must have been waiting for me to pop out at that spot, and I used that thought to kind of preemptively plan, and then I took out that camera earlier, and then there's another person coming to investigate, and luckily I get to jump on him, take him down, and now into the main room. Basically, we take that round pretty easy. I don't think any of our teammates died. Here we see Blackbeard again with the bulletproof shield on his weapon, and my stats not looking too bad. 4 kills, 4 deaths, 2 assists, 1-1 KD. My teammates are doing pretty solid too. Pretty balanced effort, I'd say. Nobody was really doing better than anyone else, except for the first person, the leader on our team, obviously. And here I think about choosing Doc because Doc has the ability, his special gadget is a hypodermic needle which provides health, and it's able to be shot, and I can provide it to myself or to my other teammates. So basically, if any of my teammates or myself take damage, I can inject myself with this shot, and I'll regain some health, and I get 3 of those. So I felt that Doc was a good option because I would be able to put down firepower, but I'd also be able to not worry about the risk of dying right away necessarily because I can heal myself. So preparation phase, everybody's doing their part to set up. Yes. So you saw those drones. Those were the attackers trying to drone out the location. Luckily I destroyed 2 of them. But I'm trying to figure out what's the best option to do for the reinforcements, and I do what I usually did. I reinforced these specific walls because I felt that they would be a problem if they were blown out, and they would expose a lot of our cover. And right there, it seems like one of my teammates was damaged, so I just shot him with the hypodermic needle, and I brought him back to full HP. I'm not exactly sure what happened to my other teammates. Maybe they got into a little scuffle and shot one another. But 3v4, that's the only downside to this game sometimes, is team killing and stuff like that. It can make it harder for your team to win when you only have 3 people against 5. But it's alright, because a lot of things can happen in this game, and I've seen and I've experienced myself lots of clutches, lots of aces. An ace is basically where one person kills the entire opposing team, and there I missed one of the hypodermic needles, but I healed the other guy, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but just got obliterated when I tried to peek out there. One thing I really like about the gameplay in this is that you can kind of lean around corners. You can like contort your body almost to really like protect yourself in certain situations. If you've seen when I'm playing, like right there, he tilts his gun and he tilts it to the left. And personally, I believe that when tilting the gun like that helps A, get a better angle on your opponent possibly, and B, it also helps recoil sometimes. Certain guns have a certain recoil pattern where it might spread to the left, or it might spread to the right, it might spread up. It kind of helps maintain recoil. And in the gameplay you'll see me switch between leaning left, leaning right, being straight up a lot. so here we go. I go with Ayana again. Apologies for not using her gadget. Man, this is not exactly the best game for me, but I think things will turn around for this match. Okay, so loading in. About to be the preparation phase. Okay, so enter through that little, under the little door. And certain windows and doors are already blocked off to basically make it more so that, you know, we have to, the attackers have to infiltrate the building, you know. Alright, so there I noticed that there are things on the other side of that wall, so that must mean that it is a reinforced wall, and there I just located one of the bombs right as the timer ran out, and I kind of hide my drone just for future use if I ever want to use it. It's also in the perfect location right by the objective. So one of my teammates activates his gadget, which is a scanner. It's like a orbital scanner basically, which detects any movement of the defenders. And here I noticed that one of the windows is already broken, and I know I didn't break that. I know one of my teammates didn't break that, so some of the defenders must have broken that. And here you see me deploy my holograph, but I end it really quick because I noticed that there's a camera in the background. One of them is one of the operator cameras, so I know that they put that there, and they're definitely actively looking at it because they purposely put it there. And I destroy both cameras, and here I use the holograph to kind of scope out the area. You see I'm looking around, checking to see if there are any enemies, and then I see right there, I kind of ping him. I ping him just to know that, for a reference that I know that person was there. So I enter, kind of wait for the person that I just saw to creep around, and right here I noticed that there's somebody kind of trying to break through. Somebody I hear hitting the wall, so I shoot it, and luckily there was somebody on the other side, and I get him. But yeah, I noticed that there were like two small holes within the wood wall, and I know that was somebody, one of the defenders, trying to peek through. Okay, so here I'm basically kind of waiting for the person with the bomb to enter. I'm also waiting for the defenders to try and return to the bomb and take cover basically and ambush them. Here I'm just playing it safe, waiting. There's a lot of waiting in this game sometimes, you know, you gotta be patient. And I just kind of used my hologram, but I decided against it because I wasn't sure. And I struggle here to take out one of those operator cameras that I was talking about. But back to the hologram, I wasn't sure that if it was a smart idea, because when I'm using the holograph I can't shoot, and I'm basically a sitting duck, my actual body, not the holograph body. So the other person plants the diffuser, and he plants it right there, so, and he's angled in a certain way that I know he's looking towards the left, and basically all I have to do is cover that one door, and as I expected, the person walks through. I'm in the perfect spot, and I get him. And it was a hard-fought victory. There were many ups and downs. Final stat line: 6 kills, 5 deaths, 2 assists, but I did come away with the best score and the MVP of the game. Well, that was all for my gameplay and commentary of Rainbow Six. I hope you guys enjoyed.